being an owner is difficult at the best of times, and that's without having something against you or what you deem to be against you, such as your age or whatever else it might be. Because we have had quite a few clients over the years that have been what maybe other people would deem young owners. And it shouldn't play into any, I think, taking a step back slightly, is that therefore, if you're a young owner, is it harder? You know, have you got more going against you? Is it more difficult to gain respect from a team if you're younger? Now, probably the answer is yes, a little bit. There's definitely going to be an aspect of where someone may look and think, God, you're in your, let's just say, early 20s or whatever you may be, and I'm in my mid-30s, and not that you're going to necessarily, hand over your age when you're interviewing somebody, but you're clearly probably going to be younger. However, it's all, for me, lies in the way that you manage and the way that you portray yourself to the team as to what you expect, how you run your business, and how you deal with that as to how they will
react to it.
But
I think there's an element of, to me, age doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I mean, I managed very large teams. It shouldn't, but I managed very large teams very, very quickly in my career. And I remember having 40-year-old women triple the salary that I was on, and I still was the area manager of that particular, and having to lead them to where it is I needed to lead them. So I do think a lot of it is a mindset. Yeah. And a lot of it is that you've put it in your head that I'm young, because we've had a few conversations with different owners that are in a younger age group, so I'm young and therefore they're not respecting me.
Yeah.
But the key is, is it that you're young? Maybe that if I look back at how I was reacting when I was in my 20s to how I'm reacting in my 40s.
Yeah.
Plus,
okay.
but you're gonna react differently, and you're gonna assess things differently when you're in your 40s and your 50s than you are when you are in your 20s, for sure, or in your 30s. Absolutely, you're going to react very, very differently, because perhaps you don't have that insight of, right, let me take a step back. What do I have in place? What is happening at the moment? Why is this happening? And making sure that, I've got either the processes, the procedures, and the communication is correct. Because I think the managers we've been talking to, or the owners we've been talking to that are younger, are far more in that quick response. Well, it's a personal attack.
Yes.
But the bottom line is a personal attack, how the team has behaved or whatever, to you, whether you're in your 20s or in your 50s.
Absolutely, yeah. It doesn't make any difference how you feel.
But it's how you react to it.
How you react, yeah. And I think if whatever you develop a complex about, whether it's that or something else with you and your team, because again, I've done it and I've been there, and there's different complexes you can develop, like none of the team like you, or or you have built friendships with them, but they're not really friendships, and there's so many, because you're just human as an owner. You've got your own insecurities, you've got your own things going on, and actually you're not, almost from a team perspective, they don't deem you to be necessarily human, or you don't feel human from a team perspective, because you're that person that gets stuff done, sorts everything out, and that's that. I mean, there's obviously a lot more to it, but and I think so. And at whatever age you are, these things can happen. But I think it is how you deal with them.
Yeah, and it's also on the examples that we had to kind of coach them through. If you kind of look at the common thread, was really about disappointment. I feel disappointed in my team, or they're not respecting me because I'm young, or they're not respecting me because, you know, they're older than me, and it's like, well, maybe it's more about you, how you positioned yourself, because you do have some young owners that are very clear about what they want, very clear about where they are, very clear about their purpose, and you can have, you know, more mature owners who've been in the industry for a long time, who are very set in their ways and not really. So I really think it goes back to, is the structure of the business, the operation, the way you want it to be? And if something has happened, whether you're young, old, whatever, how was the reaction and what did you do about it? And one particular instance, this particular owner kind of went and talked to each, you know, to all of them. I think it was individual, and it was just really straight away, didn't really think about it, was angry, and then kind of went on to a team meeting, and it becomes this drama that actually maybe is a communication issue in the first place.
Yeah, and I always say, like, sit back, and I had to learn the hard way as well, but you know, you need to always take a step back, always think about it, because as well, I think you need to pick your battles right in business sometimes, and some things that really get under your skin aren't necessarily yes, they need to be spoken about, but is it something that you keep needing to pull people in to speak about, or is it this, you know, maybe it's a culture thing that person doesn't understand of the business. So therefore, do you need to have a team meeting again about it, and beforehand an individual meeting? You know, how does it need to be done? Don't just pull them in and say, I didn't like that you did that. You know, for me anyway, this is not the right way of doing things.
But it just reminds me of something that happened recently, and it was so interesting because with both our experiences, I would have dealt differently to what you've dealt differently. And it's only because we both took a bit of a step back, because I was quite assured that we need to do it this way, and you were like, I'm not sure we need to do it this way. And taking that step back a day later allowed us to really kind of understand the issue and understand the issue the owner was facing, and kind of gone back to her with, actually, we think you need to do this. But the reaction straight away was different, but I don't think it was a right and a wrong way.
I agree. No, I agree. It wasn't right or wrong. It was just...
But it was too quick to actually deal with it there and there. It had to have a day or two of kind of maturity in your head of, right, okay, what is the best outcome for that manager, that owner, and actually the business in itself, because it's all about the business and the business needs ultimately. Thank you for joining us. We really enjoy sharing our thoughts on various topics. If you have a burning question, simply comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button to keep up to date with each new episode.